But we started like making EDM music. Like we wanted to be the Chainsmokers.
Then everyone would start responding to the thread and be like, honestly, I was about to roast the shit out of you, but like, I love the music. I subscribe. And he's like, bro, trust me. I will work on music with you every single day. Like, I need this.
I've only written one song.
Clearly,
like,
I
will.
this.
It made me so mad because
He pumped out 5 songs about it. No.
I'm like, some people.
Yeah, you
some
effed up.
people-
That's what that's
Yeah.
about. My roommate that was
Sounds
gonna
like a
live
long
with me.
distance relationship.
You know? I was like, we're gonna break up if you don't text. This like constant melody in my head, and it wasn't even a melody. It was literally just the over thinking. Like I knew that was.
Yeah.
I was like, that's something.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just remember you telling me like, this one's you, and I'm like, I can't do that. What do you mean it's on me?
I was like, I can't hit those notes.
I'm like, me either. I don't know how I don't even know why I'm here.
There were stints where I would stay up till 3 or 4 a.m. all the time.
It was like, what? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I did not.
Midwestern. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't mean it. Don't hurt me. That's what I'm done.
Every song,
I throw it to him
I've
after
seen
20
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'm done. My hands are off.
it's long. We've never.
Hold up.
Are we getting a tornado
Wait,
siren?
go to camera 2. Is that a tornado siren?
Might have to end the pod early.
Yeah. Hey, we'll put a pause to it and be like, hey, we'll come back to. That's crazy.
Let me.
All
Really?
right. All right. We
Oh.
should go to the basement. Welcome back to the Jordan Whitrock Show. Today is a legendary day. This is an interview I've been waiting for, and they finally gave me the chance to interview them. They have a big announcement, some cool stuff happening. But today we are talking to the Astronomers. They have 300,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Not to brag. And they have 14.5 subscribers on YouTube. Pretty big deal if you ask me, you know. So without further ado, let's welcome to the show Michael Stensland and Ben Baker. Woo!
What's up, y'all?
Thanks for having us.
Yo.
14 and a half subs on YouTube. That's it.
Oh, did I just...
Just 14 and a half.
14 and a half. K. I meant the K. You know what's funny? I wrote that today, and I was like, K. Yeah, I'll remember. I won't mess that up. That's so funny. Yeah.
No, that made it so much better.
Okay. So we haven't seen each other in like, I swear, 2-3 years. Actually, that's a lie. 2 years ago, New Year's Eve, I saw you at Varsity.
Well, no, that probably only would have been a year ago.
Was that only a year ago?
2024, because I graduated in 23.
Yeah. Do you December?
No, I was
Or you
I
were
was spring, and
okay.
so that was 2 years ago, literally yesterday when I graduated. So we saw each other, I think, last year.
Okay.
I graduated 3 years ago in 2022. It's crazy.
I feel like I've seen you around though. Like we've seen each other at the bar, and
That's probably the only place we've seen each other.
maybe, yeah.
yeah. Okay, wait. So Ben, I probably know the least amount, and we can get back. We can get into what we
Yeah.
used to do. But where did you go to high school? What was your Did you go to UWO or no? You went to a different.
I did.
Okay, what did you go to school for? Because I don't think I ever saw you in school. So we must have just perfectly missed each other.
I went to school for business.
Okay.
Originally, I was going to be a construction manager. I went to Platteville for my freshman year
Let's go.
and did not like it at all. And
Yeah,
then,
fair enough.
I transferred to Oshkosh just because he had an open spot at Horizon. And he's
Wow.
like, you got to transfer here so we can set up the studio. I'm like, all right. Yeah, like, whatever. Let's do it.
That's like those things where they like move to this location.
Yep.
Take a chance on me.
That's exactly
It
what
was so
happened.
last
Just took a
minute.
chance. Like it was
Okay.
It was 6. So I had my classes lined up for Platteville.
Yep.
Ready to go back, start my sophomore year.
Wow.
And then I think it was 5 weeks before the sophomore year was going to start. I said, you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to go there. Switch everything, like try to get my stuff together as fast as I can. Talk to the counselor, see if I can get my classes scheduled. And I got it done.
That's crazy.
It was a hassle, but we
Okay.
got it done. Moved into Horizon
Yep.
and just started making music every day together. And I just figured I'd just get like a general like business degree at Oshkosh. And
Yep.
yeah, glad I did it because we probably wouldn't be where
No.
we're at.
Yeah.
I know. Wow. Sometimes I forget about that whole move.
Yeah.
But we met in middle school.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say
Yeah.
because I remember you telling me that we met in middle
so
school.
we've been friends for a long
So
time.
where
now.
did you guys meet? Was it like in jazz band?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, playing saxophone. We sat
Yeah,
next
we
to
both
each other in
played
middle school.
sax.
Wait, you
Yeah.
played saxophone too, Ben?
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
knew you played saxophone.
I haven't played it in years.
I got a tenor sax somewhere
Yeah.
here if you want to.
That's what I played. I played tenor
Let's
sax.
go.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
always said that it'd be so funny because so does Ike, our bass player.
Oh,
and
really?
his roommate
That's
plays sax.
awesome.
So we always thought it'd be so funny because I always play saxophone
yep.
like at our live
Yep,
shows
mhm.
and just do like a trio. Like all of a sudden he
Yeah.
whips out the saxophone and then Ike whips out. It's like what?
Nah,
Yeah.
your fans would go crazy.
Yeah.
We'll
should do it one
We'll do
time.
that at some
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Just a random show.
Yeah.
Hey, so you might have to get tickets to like all the shows. I don't know. You'll
Yeah.
never know which one's gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you move. What year is that you guys then move into Horizon together?
2019.
So 2019. Oh, before COVID.
Going in.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
summer
Okay.
of 19. Yeah.
Were you guys? Are you guys Were you in the same grade or were one of you? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. So then you're in Horizon, and then COVID happens. Does that put a pause, or does that accelerate
No,
anything?
it
Or
accelerated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when we made Overthinking.
okay. Yeah.
Which, like, for people that are listening that know, like, some of our bigger songs, like, Overthinking is kind of a
Yeah.
main sound of ours.
Yep.
But we started, like, making EDM music. Like, we wanted to be the Chainsmokers. We wanted to be, like...
okay.
We thought
You
we were
know.
going to be DJs.
Yeah, we
So
thought we were
that
gonna
was my
DJ.
question. So I was going through your YouTube channel. I went obviously you have to go to the oldest video. So it says DJ Baker. So
Yeah.
was this your original YouTube
was-
channel
yeah.
that then you were like, we'll make this the Astronomer?
Yeah, so
Oh,
it was all space themed to begin with.
Yep.
I started it going into my senior year of high school.
Okay.
And I just made music for like the gaming community, like copyright free music. Anyone could use it. And I got 10,000 subscribers by doing that.
Wow.
People loved it. I kind of had like a little cheat code of like where I would set notifications on really big channels. So then right when they would upload, I would comment something quick and witty and then
That's so funny.
sign in and out of 8 different accounts and like that comment. So everyone starts liking the comment. Now I have the top comment with like hundreds of likes. Sign back into the account, edit the comment, hit return a few times so the read more pops up. And I would put like, also if anyone out there games, I make copyright free music for you guys and I would love some brutally honest feedback. Then everyone would start responding to the thread and be like, honestly, I was about to roast the shit out of you, but like, I love the music. I subscribed. I got like 800 subscribers in one day.
That's awesome.
I was
That's
doing it on
awesome.
Logan Paul videos. I was doing it on
Yeah.
Mr. Beast videos. I was doing it on Ninja. I was doing it on all these big gaming channels.
Yeah.
And it almost felt gross on how well it worked.
Yeah.
And how like it was kind of manipulative.
But at the
a
end of
little
the
bit.
day,
Yeah.
people were finding
Finding
you and
value.
liking
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they're finding
So-
value, and I was getting thousands of comments on my old videos of like people that loved the music. They were
Yeah.
using it in their videos and became true fans of it.
Gotcha.
And that got old pretty quick. So I'm like, okay, like this is kind of exhausting. Like just
God,
going
all
about
this
my
love.
day,
Damn.
going about my day, and then phone vibrates. Ninja uploaded. Signing it out like
During math
let's
class.
get this comment.
Yeah.
So it was pretty exhausting and kind of felt just gross doing
Yeah.
that. And like I didn't want to be doing copyright free music.
Yeah.
my whole career. So
Okay. So when did you guys decide that was the challenge? Was that just because like that was the biggest channel you guys had with the most
Well,
active
that's
people
when
in
he
it?
decided to add me to it.
So
I wasn't even a
originally-
part of this.
Originally,
Got you.
I was gonna pivot
Go
and
solo.
change the name from DJ Baker to The Astronomer. It was just gonna be a solo project.
Singular.
And I was gonna do like production, and like get like featured vocalists and
Yep.
stuff. But then like when I was at Platteville, I kind of had this realization of like, man, like I'm just not having fun making music by myself. Like it's just so, no one at Platteville was really into it, and I just wanted to like just be better to work on it with someone.
Yeah.
And I knew he's like, you maybe wrote one song ever before I called you, and I knew you had a good voice and you're a good performer. I'm gonna call Michael right now and just ask him to form this band. Let's call it the Astronomers.
All right. So Ben calls you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing right now? So you're at Oshkosh.
Yeah, I'm in my
And why
dorm
did you
room.
choose Oshkosh again?
It was close.
Okay, close. And were you music
Yeah,
major?
at the
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
I was in my dorm and he FaceTimed me, and I remember I like stepped outside the dorm room into like the common area, and he asked me, he's like, "Do you want to start the Astronomers?" He's like, "I'm gonna be doing this all the time. Like, you need to make sure that you take this seriously." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do it." I literally, I didn't have like school was. I was going and I was like a true freshman. I was like experiencing all of these things.
Like green that
I'd
way.
go to a party. I'd figure out who my friends were. I'd figure out if I liked my classes. I would get A's. I'd get F's. I was doing the whole college thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he called me in January of 2019, I was like, this is what I need. I need something to like that I can say is like me.
Yeah.
And then we just never looked back. Like, we went hard.
Well, yeah. So when I called him, I'm like, I told him about it, my plan for it, and he's like, "Dude, I'm so down." I'm like, "Okay, if you're really down, like, I don't want this to fizzle out in 2 weeks. Like, I'm saying like we're doing this every single day because that's what I'm doing right now. Like, I'm working on music every single day."
Yep.
And he's like, "Bro, trust me, I will work on music with you every single day. Like, I need this."
I've only written one song.
Clearly,
like,
I
will.
Yeah.
But I also knew about the songwriting club, which was at the time run by a guy named Zach Miller. Shout out.
Let's go, Zach Miller.
Yeah, he was a great mentor actually early on in just writing songs, and I kind of ended up taking over that group my junior year.
Yeah, because I remember you being more into.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that kind of fizzled out because I started to get so busy with like wanting to graduate and just like doing astronomer stuff all the time that like making time for songwriting. What?
No, that just reminds me. Remember in 250 when we had those projects that we had to do? It was like a how-to, and you were like, you did yours on like how to write music like astronomer.
Were we in the
like,
same class?
and then there was another project like how to do something astronomer, and then the professor came up to you and was like,
"Yeah, let's just say the professor. Let's not name."
No. But they came up to you and they were like, I understand what you're doing, but like
we won't name a name.
but like. You need like to do something other than just what this is. And
so I told you this whole story, right? Yeah. Well, I think the whole RTF program knew about that story because it ended up.
Oh, that thing definitely was a wildfire,
dude.
It was so funny.
Yeah, I got told basically the nutshell story is I basically got told to stop making everything about your band.
Which like I understand from like an educational standpoint, but also you got to realize too, it's like he's deep. Like your student is deep into this.
He got back and told me that story, and it made me so mad because
he pumped out 5 songs about it. No.
I'm like, some people.
Yeah, you effed up. That's what that's.
Yeah. I'm like, some people like to cook, so they might make a how to make
cook video,
noodles video. You know,
that's true.
Yeah. And if you like to make music, why can't you do that? You know,
I thought it was very unfair because it was an assumption, but nonetheless, we should pivot.
That's why I was just laughing. Yeah, because you're like, I just made it my whole life, and then just immediately went back to that moment, seeing you in the hallway.
Yeah, it was funny.
Okay, so now this is your life. Is this then when you're like, did you call him and say like, hey, you should do this, and then you're like, wait, I should just come to Oshkosh?
No. So he kind of had to convince me to come to Oshkosh. I was still in my like construction mode of like, this is realistic. Like music's
fallback. I need a fallback.
I told you, I'm like, we're not going to be able to do it then. Like, I know it's going to not work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And because he was like driving up to Oshkosh so we could go into like the music studio and like.
It's like 3.5 hour drive.
It didn't. I was like,
sense.
this won't work.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm down to make this a thing. But you need to transfer. Yeah. I have the room too because my roommate that was going to live with me.
Sounds like a long distance relationship.
You know? I was like, we're going to break up if you don't. No, but it was perfect. I mean, my roommate at the time, Blake, was transferring to a different school, and so I'm like, dude, it could not be more.
Too many stars are aligned. Yep.
Yeah, like it needs to happen, and it did, and obviously Horizon was cut short because of COVID. So
let's get into that. So COVID happens.
COVID happened.
Are you guys hanging out together with the masks on, or are you guys just living in the same place so you don't have to worry about
it? We didn't.
I was in Arizona for 3 months.
He got trapped in Arizona, basically. I mean, you could have probably came back, but you ended up just staying there. And so
the nice weather. Why would I come?
We had a few songs planned though to come out, so we weren't too worried. And at the time, we were releasing a song like every 2 or 3 months. Like there was a lot of space in between releases. And I remember we were kind of in this zone of like, we want to start to make music that resembles what we want to make, and not just because we know how to make EDM.
Yep.
We kind of wanted to stray away from that. And so we released a song called Love Lasts in April of 2020. So like this is like peak COVID.
Oh,
And I remember it was our first time ever on a release night not being in the same room, like doing a big release thing. And we like did a live stream, and when you got back from Arizona that summer, we made Overthinking. And it was just like a light bulb moment.
Yeah, take me into that, because like I always wondered, how did you come up with that song? Did you even think that was going to be the song that was?
It's a great story.
You know,
because at the time I was working that whole summer full time with my aunt landscaping.
Oh, I gotta love landscaping. Yeah.
I still do it every Tuesday with her.
Okay. Yeah.
So we were at a house, and for people that do music, you'll know that ideas just come to you. You don't really know when they're going to happen. So I'm raking, I think, pine cones. And I had this like constant melody in my head. And it wasn't even a melody. It was literally just the over thinking. Like I knew that was, I was like, that's something.
Yep.
But I'm landscaping. I don't have a piano. So I asked my aunt, I'm like, hey, Cindy, I'm like, can I go to the car quick and take a voice memo?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, sure. Like, go ahead. Like, it's the first, we've been doing music for a year. It was kind of just a fun thing.
Yep.
I take the voice memo, and I've definitely got it somewhere. But I get home, and you came over right away.
Was it
right?
that same day?
Was it that same day?
I don't know.
That I wrote like on the piano.
I think it was.
The piano line is that like bum 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 da 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 da. So I was playing that on piano,
Played
and
on
I
your
wrote
parents'
like the
detuned.
first wrote the first like structured like verse chorus of it.
Yep.
And then Ben and I made like a rough demo. I remember we had to rush because we were meeting our future roommates that we were moving into the Cherry Street house with.
Yeah.
For an Olive Garden dinner to talk about what we needed to get. And so we're like, we got to finish this up because we're supposed to be in Oshkosh in half an hour, and we're still recording this. Dude, it is such a funny story because little did we know that song would go on to get 100,000 streams in the first month. Go number 1 on Wisconsin's biggest radio station.
Yep.
Our first song to hit 10 million streams on Spotify.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, so many things came from that song, and a sound was born from that song.
Yeah.
And all during COVID.
Yeah. I think it's so, because I would have met you, would have been 21, fall of 21, because that's when we did acapella. That's when I met you.
Yeah.
It was acapella, which is just so funny that you were singing bass.
I know,
Every
right?
time.
I basically told, when I was in choir, I just basically said, I'll do whatever.
Yeah, I just remember you telling me like, this one's you, and I'm like, I can't do that. What do you mean it's on me?
I was like, I can't hit those notes.
I'm like, me either. I don't know how I don't even know why I'm here. I'm saying choir since like 6th grade. I just showed up.
You were so good. It was me, you, and that one guy.
That was so fun.
But what was his name?
Oh, I feel so
what
bad
was his
now.
name? He had the longer hair.
Yeah.
He follows us. If he watches, I'm gonna be so embarrassed.
It's gonna come back to us at some
I think
point.
it starts with the B. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the story. That's what started our whole sound. COVID, like that's what you said. Like COVID really, I mean, it like Overthinking came from it, but so did songs like You Effed Up, and when we got back to our house, we made Skywalking.
Yep,
we made Casita.
Yep, that one's one of my favorites.
We made Guess It's Just Life. That whole EP came right after Overthinking.
Just so you guys know, I'm in Guess It's Just Life music video. You should maybe check it out.
Right.
Yeah, you are. That's right.
They caught me maybe looking at a lens. I wasn't purposely, but I didn't know the camera.
Oh,
was
really?
there.
That's funny, dude.
No, that was a crazy time. Well, and I felt like it's crazy to me to think that like you guys really started like COVID area. That time period was like when you guys really started taking off and that stuff. Because I think when I met you, I was like, damn, they've been doing this since high school. Like this has been something. And it's funny that the YouTube channel, that whole story of the YouTube channel makes more sense in the sense of it's like I just assumed that you guys were together that whole time. I didn't realize that it was such a short, not a short, but like
well, next week, May 24th, will be 6 years since our first song ever.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
crazy.
That's it's so cool to also just like coming out of Wisconsin in the sense of like having someone popular on the rise, you know. Okay,
I think we'll always be on the rise. That's just who we are.
to the
But that's not
to-
a
to
bad
the stars,
thing.
to the-
That
no,
just
no,
means
yeah,
we're
yeah.
always climbing a ladder.
Yeah. You always
So-
got somewhere to go. You got
Yeah,
somewhere to be.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're making new music. You graduate. What's life post graduation? You're not in school anymore, so you don't got exams or projects you got working on.
Yeah, Ben
So-
graduated the year before me,
Yeah,
so you
Yep.
can start.
Yeah, I graduated in 2022, and 1 sec, I'm gonna raise this a little bit. Right out of college, one of my roommates worked at this tech company based out of New York
Okay.
as a software engineer, and they were trying to get into music. So I'm like, oh, like I'll make a presentation and talk to the CEO and like show her like what I know.
Okay.
So I made this presentation, 20-minute presentation or something of how they could tap in. And she goes, "What are you doing right now?" I'm like, "I'm just doing music stuff right now." She's like, "Do you want to work here?" Well, yeah, sure. So I get on to this company right out of college as head of music business development at this startup.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Yep.
It was going good. And then, you know, our music was rapidly growing at the same time. And then there's just, you know, I got switched to a different role that I didn't really enjoy that much.
Okay.
But I was going to have to quit anyway because we had our tour scheduled. So we were going on tour for the first time.
Let's
So
go.
I only worked there for 3 months.
Okay.
It was only 3 months.
Yeah.
And then,
But it was the best 2 months, and then the
yeah,
next
yeah,
month was.
yeah. And then it was good. It was a good experience. But since then, just been music full time.
Okay, yeah. And that's what I was I was gonna ask you. Are you guys now music full time because you're able to, or?
We have been up
Yeah.
until we both have some side gigs now.
Yeah,
I'm actually doing I'm doing some real estate around here now too.
Oh, let's
So,
go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went full time right after I graduated,
Yep.
which was awesome because
Yep.
I was able to just like, you know, everyone gets really scared when they leave college because they're like, "What am I gonna do?"
Yeah. What am I gonna do?
So it was like, it wasn't just by chance. It was like a lot of hard work that led to nicely for me,
Yeah.
like being able to go full time
Yep.
and just do Astronomers. And I would say like 2 years later, we're still full time astronomers.
Yeah.
You know, we're still touring regularly.
Yep.
And we just picked up very flexible side gigs
Yeah.
for income, but also for like
Keep you grounded,
mental
you know?
breaks.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Talk
Mental
about that. Yeah.
breaks.
What's that like?
Because,
Yeah.
dude, like when you're doing music full time and you're being a creative and you're having to compare yourself to stay afloat,
Yep.
it's really draining, man. Like the amount of days I wake up and I'm just like, I just feel stuck for no reason right now, and it's annoying because I'd be like, I can't write a song today.
I was
I
gonna say,
don't know
does
what
that
to
hurt
write.
your creativity? Like,
It does.
like just like for me, it's like live streaming or whatever. It's like I'd love to live stream every night, but it's like, well, what am I gonna? I have nothing to talk about. Like people who are
Sometimes
watching
you
are like,
don't.
yo, what's up, Jordan? What anything new? It's like I streamed yesterday. It's like, you know, you can't do that. So you got to like actually go live life, create memories or stories that then you
Yeah.
can turn into music or whatever that is, you know?
So for me, like doing music full time for 2 years, it's awesome because like you're doing what you love and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, being home every day and not really having a structure, it does get old. Like
Yeah.
where it's like
It's
I'd
draining.
find myself where I'm like, first of all, our basement is our studio is in the basement, so there's
Okay.
no natural light coming in, and it's like, okay, am I really gonna wake up and go down in the basement during the day and make music? Like I can't do that every day. I feel
Yeah,
gross.
yeah.
I need fresh
Doing
air. I need to
something,
be
yeah,
out and
yeah.
about doing something. So yeah, I felt it's great,
We ran
Can't
into that
complain.
problem.
but like your creativity almost feels kind of stunted when you just that's all you have to do is like
Yeah.
wake up versus like being out and about doing something busy and then coming back and like, oh, I got some time for music now. Like let me
Yeah.
unload
Yeah.
my thoughts.
Yeah,
let me
yeah,
like
yeah.
let
I
me
feel
get
like
this out.
we're in a healthier spot now
That's awesome.
because so I started like I'm a representative with Ghost Energy now, and so like
Oh.
I do that
Yeah.
during the week,
Okay.
certain days, and Ben does real estate certain
Yep.
days, which is super nice because then we plan like, all right, Wednesday, Thursday, we're gonna meet up together and do some astronomer stuff.
Yeah.
And really, we are really quick when it comes to making music. It's all we need.
Yeah.
And we've got a few ideas in the back burner right now that are really fun and really exciting. But it's like having balance, man, when you're in a creative field is the most important thing if you're going to do it long term.
Yeah, for me, like when I didn't have another side gig, like I could just stay up till whenever I want, sleep in until whenever I want.
Yep.
And I like that. I still like staying up late sometimes, but there were stints where I would stay up till 3 or 4 a.m. all the time.
Last year,
and sleep till noon and do it over again just because like that's when like I definitely do feel more creative at night. And if I'm working on like heaters, like I'm just gonna keep going, and it wasn't like that every single day, but like basically the lack of structure, it was just so all over the place. And it feels good to kind of like have another thing to work on that I'm also passionate about. And be out and about and just coordinate with Michael where it's like, hey, let's take these 2 days. Let's make some songs.
It's
let's
great.
work on this. Schedule meetings with our manager, at least once a week, catch up on business and developments that's going on with the project. And it feels good. And we're doing the same amount of progress. It's not like we slowed down.
I think before
can do
real
both at
estate and
once.
before Ghost, I think last year was rough. I think like to surface like how our schedule was, I think it was pretty unorganized.
Let's get into that because that was the tour, right? Is that
so? We just got back from tour.
Yeah, to talk about the tour. How did you set up your locations? How did you know that's where you were going? Why did you choose those places?
We have a booking agent.
Yep.
And she works directly with our manager Jack. So it's kind of out of our hands. They just let us know.
They approve, like we approve it.
We approve it. We say yes to it. That's about it.
Okay.
So we really don't have a ton of like.
Yeah. So where did you guys end up then for your tour?
Dude, we did like the whole U.S. pretty much.
That's okay. That's what I thought, but I didn't
minus
know.
West Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
So-
you. How did you? What was your favorite venue? What was your least favorite venue? Without names, if you don't want to hurt their feelings, but
Well,
was there a
favorite
dungeon?
show.
Was there a dungeon that you were like?
Oh,
what
least
the
favorite? I don't know. There wasn't really a least
Yeah.
favorite. I would say the hardest venue to play
Yeah, or maybe
was
that's a better way to-
Nashville.
Nashville for sure.
It's
by
hard to
far.
play in Nashville because you're playing for musicians. So
The
most of
vibe-
the crowd are people that do it what
So
you
they're
do.
just sitting there like,
They're
That's
like
exactly what
analyzing.
that's exactly what it was. That is
They're
exactly what.
analyzing.
It's more of like
yeah,
being observed,
comparing
versus like,
themselves to you and being like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
better.
I would have done that differently. Oh, I like what they just
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
You know?
someone to him was
That's
someone to him
interesting.
was going,
Like
project.
project.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like the venue was great. Like we had
Yeah.
a
Love the
decent
venue.
crowd.
Yeah, it was just
It was just but it's okay. I mean,
No,
like, we'll still
well,
go play Nashville.
now you know to project just a little bit more.
yeah. Favorite venue, favorite
yeah.
show, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
because it's home, like we almost sold it out.
I was gonna say, was that like a home
Dude, we almost
court
did.
kind of vibe?
350.
Yeah, it was like
Okay, that's
350.
awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you guys
Such
play?
A great
It's
crowd.
called Vivarium, which is a new venue.
Okay, where's
Yeah.
that located in Milwaukee?
Like by the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of Wisconsin, favorite show, probably
Louisville was great.
Boston for me though.
Boston was
Boston.
great
Yeah,
too.
Louisville was great. Yeah, Atlanta was
Could
great.
you tell like the difference between a Midwestern and an East Coast and a
Oh, yeah.
Southerner? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what was like the tells that you could like be like, yeah, you're from there.
Just
and you're
people's
from there.
personalities
Yeah.
are different when you go to different
Okay.
places. Like, you don't realize how much Wisconsin and Midwest people like are very like, oh, whoops, sorry,
Oh,
like
so
it's
apologetic
okay.
or whatever. That
Yeah,
is.
like
yeah,
very
yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, my favorite thing is like, oh yeah, sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
Where like
sorry.
where like New Yorkers are like, they say what they mean. There's no ifs, ands, or buts or ways around
Was there
it.
something that someone said that shocked you?
Yeah,
Or-
there was.
I
Was
could
there in
just
New
tell
York?
that there was something.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
You weren't with me,
Oh.
but I think I told you.
Wait, were you with Kyle?
Yeah, I was with Kyle's group.
Okay.
So we were getting back from like tour, like just walking around New York,
Okay.
and we walk in.
Was this
and
post show?
This is before the show. So
before
like
the-
people are in the venue, and we're
Okay.
walking in.
Yeah, yeah.
And the bouncer was like he needed all of our IDs.
Yep.
And it's funny because we're like, well, we don't get let in, then the show doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, he kind of like said a few words, and he was like, so I'm gonna need everyone's IDs, make sure. And I'm like, oh yeah, for sure. So like, kind of cut him off, but I wasn't being like rude. I was just saying like, yeah, I'll get it out. And he just like stopped and like stared at me, and he was like, bro, like, it was like, what? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I did not.
Midwestern. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't mean it. Don't hurt me. So like, even like Kyle's manager was kind of like stepping in. And he was like, no, he didn't mean anything. He was just like, saying like he'll get it and stuff. Yeah. So that was a little like
nuts.
But that's just like, it's not to us though. It is maybe, but to them it's nothing. That's just.
I don't know.
Different people in the U.S. are just different.
Yeah.
What's normal to one person isn't normal to another person. And it's like, it just has to do with areas.
Yeah.
Like people are different wherever
like
you go.
Custom. I wonder how that, is that like a geological?
Yes.
Like, is there like,
it is.
Because I'm in
where
a
you
mountain,
live.
I have to live differently because I'm in a mountain. Like that's what I'm wondering. Or is it like
It's just, it's the culture. It's like
population,
but
probably,
it's like people who live in certain places don't think anything of it. We don't think anything of having 30 bars in our city, but people will call us alcoholics.
Crazy. It's crazy.
And we'll be like, no, we're like, it's just
I like
normal.
to drink. Like this is.
But like, so someone might look at us and be like, oh, you're from Wisconsin. Like, that's dumb. Like
nothing's good has ever come out of Wisconsin.
It's just like little things like that. And we might think like, oh, I would never want to live in a big city.
Yeah.
But someone would be like, oh, I'd never want to live where there's nothing to do.
Rural cornfields.
It just depends on where you grow up. It depends on what you choose to go and do.
Speaking of city and cornfield, which one would you guys rather live in?
What's that?
Would you rather live in a big city or a small town?
We're both. Oh, sorry. We're both pretty small town.
Small
people.
town.
Yeah. I'm the same, and that's what sucks because my career path is like.
Yeah, New York maybe.
I don't know.
LA.
I went out there like 2 summers ago just to be like, could I live here?
Dude, it's cool.
I came out with I could live there, but I wouldn't be like, get me out there right now because that's where it's happening.
It's awesome.
Like,
it's really cool, but like, I love going to all those places.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get
but
to
like,
leave.
I like to go back then to my farm home.
Yeah.
To go back to my farm.
Go back to my farm.
Nah, I love Wisconsin.
It's great. It's cheap.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. Okay, but you were saying that quality of life maybe wasn't what you is. It was a shocker.
Tour was fine. Tour was fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I just mean like when we were both full time doing Astronomers, there wasn't anything else going on for us. We ran into a few like just miscommunication things. Like I would be, and we would talk about it too.
Yeah.
We would be pretty forefront, but like I work during the day best. He works during the night best. But one of the problems was like Ben coming from the studio in the basement at night to then going back to the basement during the day. But so we put the studio up in the like living room. It's in the dining room. It's like the dining room is now. So it's different. It's been a different vibe ever since then.
So yeah, like last year we kind of ran into it where I was staying up late working on stuff till 3 a.m. and then sleep till noon. Michael would come over at noon and he'd want to work and he'd go right in the basement. I'd want to
get a lot of stuff done.
He'd go in the basement. I'd be down there, but I'd find myself
he would never want to stay longer.
Getting out of there. I'd be down there.
Minutes.
I'd be like antsy to get out of there. I'm like, I need to get out of here. I just like was down here.
And I would just be like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
And so like, it's just been, I think lately it's been really perfect. Having our other things that we're getting done. And then we come to the Astronomers and we're still treating it like a full-time job. It's just not every day, which is for a creative field is really healthy too. Because you can't just force yourself to do something creative.
We're also just fast at making songs now too. Like we just know how we work.
We can get it done in 20 minutes.
That's what. Yeah.
That's what I'm done.
Every song,
I throw it to him after 20 minutes. I'm done. My hands are off.
Every song takes different amount of time, but we've been working together now for 6 years.
Yeah.
I bet you we got 10,000 hours together of working on music, and at that point, it's like
unreleased songs we have too. It's crazy.
It's like when he's like sometimes he's like, hey, can I just have the room for a sec? Like, oh, like, go for it. Like, we don't get offended by like. Sometimes you just need the space by yourself. You don't need someone looking over your shoulder, like chiming in.
Yeah, and he gets the room, but when you work at night, that's like your time to like nitpick and like tedious stuff. And
sometimes like I'll see he's really dialed in working on stuff. And I'll be like, hey, let me know when you want to hear my thoughts on this, because like sometimes just the constant like, oh, try this. Oh, why are you doing that? We found out real quick like, no, that doesn't work. You gotta let the other person like get the idea out, basically.
Got you.
Yeah.
But anyways, just to get back, like here we are now though in 2025, and I feel like we're in a really good spot. We've just been doing it for a while.
Mm-hmm. So now you dropped an album recently.
We did.
Okay. So talk about what that album is for people so they can go find it and listen to it. What's your preferred location for them to listen to? The one that you dropped like a couple weeks ago or last week or
there's a lot of places you can go and listen to it. Obviously it's everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, whatever you use, it'll be there.
Okay.
But basically a couple months ago before we left for tour, Ben and I were wrestling with the idea of like how we were going to release our next music. Were we going to go back to releasing an album with not a lot of singles, or were we going to go do what we did last year, which is release singles and then the album? Yeah. And I think we were both on the same page. I think we just weighed heavily in the different directions. We both knew what we ended up doing, I think, was what we both wanted. I think Ben and I just leaned like we brought to light both sides of the equation.
Yeah. Okay.
Because obviously nowadays a lot of people don't really do albums anymore. They just do singles because it's every song can get pitched to DSPs. Every song can get in front of one song can get in front of everybody's eyes, and no one has attention spans. But we are fans of albums. So to do that would be a discredit to why we make music in the first place. And so we came up with the idea.
Go back to the roots
of what if we do like a double album where one of them, because we were making songs that were like one way and we were making songs that were another way, and we're like, this doesn't really mesh together.
Yeah.
Like, what if we make an album where we split it up into two and do one that's called Good Morning World and one that's called Good Night World? And that idea basically sparked a million sub-ideas that led to everything we've done, from releasing a single from each one periodically. Oh, I hear the thunderstorms coming. We're getting some storms here tonight. And to then when we released the first album track list, people were like, wait, where's half of the singles that you released? And we didn't tell anyone, but there was going to be another album called Good Night World where those singles would end up being on it.
Gotcha.
And it was fun. Like, that's what we love. We love surprising our audience like we're this big mainstream artist, like a Taylor Swift or an AJR. Yeah. And we gave people basically one big album and split it up into two different vibes. And so Good Morning World, which came out a couple weeks ago, was more of the like poppy, brassy, feel good vibes album.
I'm not gonna lie. I listened to the album. That might be some of your best work. I'm not even gonna lie.
You.
Like I was listening to it, and obviously like your friends, so it's like, yeah, of course you're gonna like your friends. But I was like some of this stuff is hitting like. Some of these songs are kind of bangers. Like you could see this back on the radio or whatever this would be. This could be a summer song that people listen to because it's that feeling of whatever they're looking for, whatever this summer is going to be. There's always something that's mainstream. But I really liked that, the most recent. So how did you decide those songs were the ones that were going to go? Like, was there a theme to it?
It's pretty easy to split these ones up.
Okay.
Like Good Night sounds a lot different.
Good Night is more like guitar driven, a little bit slower, a little bit more moody.
Okay.
Good Morning is just like brass piano, like just sunny day vibes. Wake up. Like the alarm clock goes off, and Good Night's a little bit more acoustic guitar, and slower and more lyrical, I would say too.
Yep.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there, for the audience sake, when they're listening to the albums, is there a song that you are like, this was the song that I just fell in love with on this album?
For me, it's I Still Think We Made It.
Okay.
That one.
That was our first single of the chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one
I
was so
also
fun.
loved how you always did chapters.
Yeah.
How chapters was the theme for
Yeah.
your album
Yeah,
drops.
so this is
I've
chapter
always
5.
loved that.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Michael?
Probably When I Retire. So that's the song we pitched for the album coming out tonight. So like,
Okay.
I don't know when this is gonna come out, but it'll probably be.
Yeah.
The album's gonna be
The
out.
album will be out.
The album
I know
will
that
be
for a
out.
fact, but
But so as the time of recording this,
Yeah.
the album comes out tonight in a few hours. But When I Retire is one of those songs on Goodnight that the structure didn't make any sense when we made it. But I knew exactly when I was writing it where it was gonna go, even though where it was going was so unheard of. But I got into this zone of like thinking, what are we doing? Like what is this all for? What is the Astronomers meant to be when we're done, when we've
Yeah.
stopped,
What's
when
the mark
we've
we leave?
left
Yeah.
music, whenever that day is, if ever, what do we want to have been known for? And so it's a song of just talking about like, I hope I threw away my stupid phone. I hope like my fans still listen. Like I hope like I'm doing this for like my family. Like, I hope it's bigger than me now. Like I hope this isn't about us anymore. I hope it just became a thing that our fans just like grew up and grew old with. And so when you listen to that song, like, I hope you can kind of get teleported to where I was trying to come from. Because lyrically, it's the most...
It's very different. It's got 3 different tempos, 3 tempo changes.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
different. Time signature. Like, everything about it is very... it's long. We've never...
Hold up.
Are we getting a tornado
Wait,
siren?
go to camera 2. Is that a tornado siren?
Let's go. Might have to end the pod early.
Yeah. Hey, we'll put a pause to it and be like, hey, we'll come back to... That's crazy.
Let me...
It's a tornado.
All
Really?
right.
We should probably get
All right.
this.
We
Oh,
should go to the basement.
there's
Hey,
a
everyone,
tornado.
thanks for watching. If we make it out alive and whatnot, so let's go to the basement. That's sketchy. Thanks, guys, for coming on the podcast. If you
Thanks
didn't
for
know,
having us.
I forgot to do this.
Let's
Veda
go.
was our tech director, did fabulous. And so with that, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thanks.
What a way to end it.
Is there actually a tornado on?